Hello, you lovely lot. How are we all doing? It's Connor, and we are back with, I don't really know what we're back with, a rumour mill? I don't think it is a rumour mill. We are here with a rate Leeds United's transfer window video. And the reason I'm doing this is because I want to get your thoughts on Leeds United's window. Today we've had Diego Llorente leave, which is bada bing, bada boom. He's out of the room. Listen, sure he's a lovely lad, but not for Leeds United, not for me. Joe Gelhardt has obviously left. Cody Drame's left as well. I think really promising loan moves for those two. And then obviously we've got the likes of, looks like Diogo Montiero is going to be coming in, which I've just, there've been loads of compilations on Twitter, on YouTube, and I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, mustard. Absolutely mustard. Looks very Ben Whitey, and I'm all about that. I'm all over that. Weston McKennie, as you guys know, I'm not going to double down. I'm going to say that he wouldn't have been my first choice, but is he a massive improvement on what we have? Is he someone who gets me excited, gets me going? Yes, absolutely. And I'm really excited about that one. And from what I've seen so far, Maximilian Verber is a great signing now. Not a great signing, but a very good sign. Now, my question to you guys is, do we need to go out and get another centre-back? It looks like, from what Fabrizio Romano has said, Montiero is going to be the Diego Llorente replacement. I guess the positive news about that is Llorente was barely playing anyway. And if we've scouted Montiero, and I know he's going into the development squad, but so did Willian Yonso. But if he's going into the development squad and we've scouted him for a decent period of time, which it looks like we have, he's the under-17 Portuguese captain. He's 6'3", 6'4", monster. Is this something that we're all positive about? I mean, I certainly am. And is he going to be any worse than Diego Llorente right now? Unlikely. I mean, for me, Llorente is like third, fourth. Not in fact, third and fourth. It's kind. For me, he'd be fourth, fifth centre back. So Montiero is not going to be any worse, in my opinion, than Diego Llorente, and he's going to have such a higher ceiling. So yeah, guys, I want you to just rate the window. I want us to have a little bit of a chat about what's going on today. It's deadline day tomorrow. What other business do you think we need to do? Because if we go out and get another centre back, then it's probably going to block Montero's progress, isn't it? We know all about that. If you get too many signings in, it can block certain individuals' pathways. That keyword Kinnear uses all the time. So yeah, Leeds have got to be really careful. But what do you want? Interesting. Decent. That says Sam. Props to Water. 10 out of 10 says we are Leeds. Any advancements on that? Can there be? Ryan Malone's in the building. Says get Nat Phillips. Don't want Matt Phillips. He's at West Brom, don't he? Nat Phillips for 10 million. Decent window. 10 out of 10. 6'3" and 6'3", 6'4" at 17 is scary. Demar, he's a unit. If you've seen some of the compilations on Twitter, obviously, I'm not going to say I know who Diogo Montiero is, and I don't believe anybody in this chat knows who he was a week ago either. But really, really, really happy with just how his profile looks. I always use the sort of like when I go on about physicality and domineering and aerial presence. 6'4" at 17. Jesus Christ, he's going to be an absolute monster. So yeah, is he ready to step up already? That's probably what Victor's thinking. Dino's in the building. Evening Connor. Leeds have certainly won this window. Really impressed by the business we've done. And I guess this is what I was saying at the start. This sort of business is pivotal, and it's really good to see other clubs suffering. It really is, because, I do like Everton, for an example. I think they're a good club, well-established club. But at the same time, not interested. And when they're going out and selling Anthony Gordon for 40 million quid, and then at the same time, today, they're trying to buy Conor Gallagher for 40 million, and Gallagher is publicly rejecting them. Now, that is probably Leeds United of old, and it's absolutely fantastic to be in a position now where it looks like we're organised and we've got it sorted, which it surprised me. It surprised me, and you know why it surprised me? Because we've not done it before. This has actually been a window where I'm turning around and going, bloody hell, that's not Leeds. That's weird. And you're lying to yourself if you're not thinking that as well. Simon Brown is set piece coach. As long as he's not going in there, he's only about 5'6", bless him. Cancelo is available. Yeah, don't think so. Left back and Pascal to centre back. Yeah, I guess Sam. I don't know whether or not, or presumably they're going to continue with Junior Firpo there. And I keep saying this, you do want Firpo to do well. You do want him to do well. It's just the fitness, isn't it? It's the dependability, the reliability, and the quality at defending. Is he good enough to defend? We know he's good enough going forward. We know by trade at Real Betis, he's a left wing back, as is Rasmus in the Danish setup, a right wing back. So, are they automatically two negatives because they're not playing in the natural position where they've thrived? Who knows? But yeah, 8 out of 10 says Craig Keith, more than I expected, but still could have targeted improvements on our weaknesses better. I think. Who would you have gone for, Craig? But 8 out of 10, I think it's a fair score. Ethan in the building. Hiya, Ethan. Montiero looks really good strength, really good at tackle, really good at long ball. Montiero is a baby face. To be fair, Sam, he's 17. Trust me, you want to keep that baby face for as long as possible. Believe it or not, I used to have a baby face. I did, honestly. Watch some of the early Leeds videos. It all turns around quick. Connor, would you say Walker Peters from Southampton? I absolutely would. Reformian. I think Walker Peters, even in the standalone game against Leeds United earlier on this season at St Mary's, was the best player on the pitch. I think he's a very, very decent player who could apply his trade a little bit higher, to be honest with you. Smash a like, 559 in the building. Yeah, really appreciate that, guys. If you wouldn't mind doing that, I'm trying my hardest to get YouTube shorts, YouTube, lives, YouTube videos out for you guys. We're going to get some Weston McKennie content afterwards as well. So please, if you're enjoying the content, make sure you slap a like on the video. Carl's in the building. Hi, mate. 8 out of 10, short of a left back. Very happy with Montiero. Shades of Ben White, but more physically imposing. No need for another centre back. I'm kind of on that wavelength with Kyle, because it's like if it was Strauch, okay, our starting centre back, then I'd be like, we need a first team replacement. But because it's Llorente, and Llorente for me was nowhere near the first team, Cooper's ahead of him for me, which says a lot, and you guys know that says a lot from my perspective. But there's absolutely no way to, Monteiro is going to be further down the pecking order, but with his attributes, I think he's going to be able to slot him pretty nicely, and there's not a lot of pressure on him as well because he's far down in the pecking order. So I think it's going to be good for his development. Need to get rid of Cooper and Forshaw off the wage book, and we've had a 10 out of 10. Yeah, Ben. I just would worry that we wouldn't get a Cooper replacement in, but yeah. Llorente's addition by subtraction, 8 out of 10. Sam were peppering this on the last stream, mate. It's all down to Jesse now. He's been backed and he has to deliver. Need to string a set of wins together now. I'm not going to bang on that drum as much, mate, because I've said that in the past 40 streams I've done, but we all know who the pressure is on now because he's been backed. Tom says, Connor, do you think we need a playmaker, or does that not fit Jesse's system well? To be honest, Tom, I think we're going to go to a 4-3-3, mate. So I think when you look at someone like Weston McKennie, he's going to be at the tip of the 4-3-3. I think you're going to get Mark Rocker just holding back maybe a little bit in the 6. Tyler Adams playing almost as the quarterback, just in front of the defence. So I think you're going to get Weston McKennie being that advanced body, not a playmaker, but almost like a shadow striker, because that's what he is. He's a box-to-box midfielder who arrives late. Think Frank Lampard and Steven Gerrard. As a mould of player, as a profile of player, I'm not saying he's the same quality. He's definitely not. But he's not a playmaker as such. We haven't got a Pablo Hernandez here at all. He's a very, very different profile. And I think his energy and his physical demands are going to help him in this system. I think maybe in a different system, a possession-based system, you'd need more of a playmaker. But I think in this system, it's all about almost determination and running and energy and pressing. And I think McKennie fits that better than Lampard. Doesn't take a lot to be a better manager than Lampard, does it? Everyone loves Peacocks. Hey, mate, delighted with the signings, but you and I know centre, mid and left back in the summer was needed, so only one real signing in the window. Yeah, I don't think you're going to get Verba playing at left back, to be honest with you, but it would be nice to see Strout go centre back and then Verba go left back. But it seems like Verba is just a commander, and to be a real domineering, commanding centre back like we've seen from Verba. I mean, it just kept Ivan Toney quiet, didn't he? Ivan Toney just didn't get anywhere near the ball, and it looked like every time Toney was up against Verba, there's a complete mismatch in terms of height, but he used it so well. And we need more players like that as centre back. The centre back's so crucial in an engine of a team, so crucial, and he's a leader as well. And I always want my captains and my leaders to be centre-backs or central midfielders. That's how I used to respond in a team anyway. Connor, quickly, who do you want in the cup draw tonight? Wrexham. Why not? Get Ryan Reynolds at Ellen Road. let's show him a real ground. Get him down to Gravely's Fish and Chips. Get ambushed by a bunch of Leeds fans who fancy him. Yeah, why not? Llorente will do well in Serie A. I agree. I think that sort of player would suit Serie A a lot slower. And I don't feel, aside from maybe Napoli, there is that many pressing teams that are going to affect Diego Llorente. Llorente cannot deal with any form of press whatsoever. He panics, he's rash, and I feel he was targeted by many Premier League teams. I actually thought that the key example was Brentford 5, Leeds 2 earlier on in the season, when any time, if you ever watch the highlights of that game, he touched the ball, Thomas Frank made a conscious effort to get Mbuemo pressing on him. Every instance he was pressing on him. Whereas when, I believe it was Robin Koch had the ball on the left or the right-hand side of the centre-backs, I can't remember where either of them played in that game, but Tony wouldn't apply press, and they wouldn't apply press because they know Robin's better on the ball. But Llorente was a target. He was a complete target, and he was vulnerable. And I don't think there's as many pressing teams and as much quality in Serie A, naturally. Donny Key says, 9 out of 11. We're banging 2 fullbacks from becoming a real threat, in my opinion. Left back would have been phenomenal window, but let's be realistic. Only spent 1 million in January transfer window previously. Yeah, bang on. I'd take Sosa. Yeah, Sosa's not a bad shout. Mark's from Peru. Hi, mate. While making lunch, good man. What you having? Happy with the window. Imagine what we can do if the board, if this board support continues and we have a successful manager. Yeah, the thing is, Mark, there's clearly been San Francisco 40. As you can tell by my thumbnail, by the way, you can tell that there has been, from my perspective, heavy influence from the San Francisco 49ers. And that's why we're all happy, I think, right now, because money has really been jacked into this. I think if it was Radrizzani, there'd be a lot of scraping and a few loans here and there, maybe a few developmental squad signings who maybe aren't going to make the grade. Yeah, I don't think it'd have been a good window. I think we'd all have been slightly miserable. But it's fair play to Radrizzani. He understands that Leeds need bodies, and maybe he's crude or gone and almost said to the 49ers, look, we need you this January, otherwise your investment's going to be worth absolutely nothing. But yeah, and a successful manager, you know exactly what I think when it comes to that. Listen, I respect everybody's opinion. There's a couple of people who got upset in my last live stream because I used the term snowflake. I said snowflake because I was tagged in a post on Twitter, which was pretty toxic and it didn't need to happen. I don't understand why Leeds fans do that. It's really weird, toxic accounts. And when I was tagged in this, I gave an opinion on the tweet and then people didn't like it. So that is the definition of a snowflake. If you come on here, and I wanted to address this as well, and you have an opinion, I'll read out people who disagree with me. If you're abusive, I'll block you. But that's what the fan phone-ins are about. I don't know whoever's coming on these fan phone-ins. I don't know who's coming on from the start, everybody. It's randomers, random people who I've never met before. The debrief. I bring people on the debrief, KG, and I'm explaining myself now because I feel like I have to, because some of the comments in the last video. Me and KG disagreed. KG's very articulate, has a fantastic YouTube channel, and is great at what he does. But me and KG disagreed. Me and Brownie disagree every single stream. Me and Gabe disagree continuously. I bring people on the debrief because they disagree with me. So this whole warped mentality of me not liking it when people disagree with me is rubbish. So please disagree with me. I'll flash your comments up on screen if it's not abusive. But I wanted to mention that at the start because I think people got a few crosswires from the last video. I can come on here, I can take the mick out of people and call some people weird if I think the comments are a bit close to the line, but it doesn't mean, your opinion isn't as worthwhile as mine. Just wanted to say that. Anyway, back onto it. McKennie shows that 49ers ambitions for me roll on the summer window. I think we'll do big business if we stay up. That's it, Donny, if we stay up, my friend. Any thoughts on Sonny Perkins, anyone, Tom? I think it'd have been nice to see him at the weekend against Accrington. I also think it'd have been nice to see Llorente, but maybe they already knew. Maybe they knew he was moving on. Maybe they had transfer interest because obviously Llorente was going to be the one who I thought was going to be starting at Nottingham Forest. So yeah, I thought maybe Llorente should have started against Accrington Stanley to build up match fitness. And it'd been nice to see Perkins as well. I just don't know where Perkins lies in this side anymore. I don't know where his minutes going to come from. We're all talking about Gelhardt. We're all talking about, other players, Yelder. I mean, where on earth are Perkins' minutes going to come from? You and Joe on Wednesday, Connor. Yeah, indeed, my friend. Yeah, nice little surprise. We've not done that in a while, have we? But yeah, that'll be coming on Wednesday. It's amazing to see how people can't handle a different opinion, and most of these people don't seem to watch our videos because you caveat almost every one of your opinions. Yeah, mate, we're just fans. We're fans at the end of the day who just do this. We're not pundits. We don't get paid like Genius and Shearer and Danny Mills and Murphy and Lineker and all that lot. We're not. We're just fans. There's not a manual for starting this sort of stuff. So anyway, Diego leaving. Yeah, he's indeed. What formation will we play? I think we're going to be playing a 4-3-3, my friend. Montiero, apparently. Very fast, from what I've read. Billy says there is no if we are staying up, Connor. Yeah, hopefully, mate. Rico, no one is right all the time. How the F are you supposed to learn if you never listen to other people's opinions? That's it, mate. Who gives a crap if you're wrong? Doesn't matter, does it? What's with fixing the mic? I was learning to lip read. I'll take it out again, Paul, if you're not careful, fella. Hi, pal, from Sunny Lanzarote. Good man. Panda Man, disagree. There we go. We'll get your disagreements on screen. Do we need another keeper? I don't think so, mate. I think that the beautiful thing is Elan's pretty much secured his future at Leeds. I'm really happy with Joel Robles. I don't know. I'm all right with it. I think, as I said at the start, I'd have liked Onahi because I thought he was a real Matthias Klick replacement. It was almost like Klick 10 years ago. That's why I'd have liked him. But McKennie's, I was talking to my old man about it today, and McKennie's a good signing. It is a good signing. Montiero looks like a real player, and Verba looks very good as well. So I don't really have many excuses when it comes to personnel anymore. I don't. Like the amount Jesse's been backed. So I've said to you guys multiple times, listen, as I was mentioning earlier on, opinions are like, what, everyone's got a different one. But I don't think Jesse's the right man, okay? That's just my opinion. I want to see Leeds play a more possession-based football. I want to see Leeds play a little bit more expansively. And I think we have so much talent in our side now that I think if Leeds played more expansively with more width, isolated fullbacks, Leeds would be damaging in this division. But I understand people who want to back Jesse, and I understand people who believe that Jesse's the right man to take us forward. I will back Jesse, of course I will. I want Leeds to win. I want him to succeed. Do I think this will work with Jesse? I don't. No, I really don't. And but that's just my thought. I could be wrong. Jesse could turn it around, and I hope he does turn it around. I hope he proves me wrong, and I hope Leeds start to move up the table now because he has been given so much by the board right now to turn this around, and that ship needs to turn. It needs to turn against Nottingham Forest because all this is all well and good, but if we go to Nottingham Forest and we do not get the win and we draw again or we lose again, it's not going to look good on him. It's not going to look good on him. We need to start picking up wins, not draws, wins. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. It is all down to Marsch. Of course, it's down to the players, but Marsch has to stimulate the players. And if those players aren't working, you've now got options. And if those players aren't working in those positions, change to a back five if your defence is naff and need an extra body back there. If the midfield isn't working, circulate it, rotate players. If those wingers aren't working, those inside forwards, change it because now you've got options. There's so many things you can do, and that is thanks to the San Francisco 49ers because evidently they want these to work. They want this to work. Of course they do, but they are businessmen. They are ruthless businessmen, American businessmen who, if this isn't working, they will put his head on the chopping board because they will not see their investment go down to the championship. Hence the investment. What's your window for an upturn in form, Connor? Sorry, mate. Yeah, Everton, Southampton. Yeah, he's got five games. I mean, as I've said multiple times, and this no disparaging comment, he'd have been gone for me a while back, but he's got. How many games has he got now? He's got to beat Forest. I'm not hearing any of these excuses, and I won't be happy if I'm coming on here talking about Leeds losing at Forest. I don't. They're a newly promoted team. Come on. We need to be going out there with the money that we've spent and start doing some serious damage. Whoever says Bamford should be benched, I haven't got a clue about football. Yeah, he's doing well, isn't he, at the minute? I think there's a rumour at the minute that Rodrigo's out as well, which is just typical, but it is what it is. Leeds United Ultras, love your content, mate. Such an inspiration. Cheers, Mike. Appreciate that, buddy. Narrow system is our Achilles heel. Yeah, that's where my head's at, mate. That's where my head's at. Brownie said Leeds will draw their way to safety. He did, drawing on together. We might do a surprise debrief tomorrow, to be fair. We might do a surprise debrief, who knows? Yeah, we'll think about it. It's either going to be a debrief or it'll be a fan phone in or something like that on deadline day at around about 6 o'clock. So we'll figure that one out. So make sure you tuned in for that one, everyone. Ted's in the building. Hi, Ted. Melia made a very moving statement. Leeds made me who I am. What a moving tribute. Yeah, that's great, isn't it? It's almost like he's not been struck by the modernisation of a knobhead footballer. Connor, man. There goes monetisation. You know what I mean? And I think that's the culture at Leeds. I think Leeds have always been a family, and it's a group of footballers, isn't it? I think the sentiment thing can sometimes work against us, but I think the sentiment thing can work for us as well in terms of, the players are very grounded, and that's a lovely comment from Melee. We heard lovely comments from Matthias Click as well. I'm sure when some of the old boys move on, Ayling, Cooper, for sure we'll hear some moving comments from them. But I think it's a very grounded team, and I think that's why previously we've been successful in our own right. I've got a vile tongue. March on together, clearly. Do you see McKennie's post on Insta? I didn't, mate. McKennie announced at 6. Was he announced? Has he been announced? Or is he being announced? This will be great if he's doing it when I'm live. My laptop's about 4 miles behind, so I'm going to have a look now. So what is it? 5:50. Right, we're going to stay on anyway, everyone. So keep getting your comments in. If this is announced at 6, what are we going to do? What should we do if this is announced at 6? Oh, actually, well, the Square Ball have just confirmed. Oh, it's Wasserman Soccer, everyone. So Wasserman Soccer, which is an agency, have just confirmed it. So they have confirmed Weston McKennie is now a Leeds United player. So it's been confirmed by Wasserman Soccer, and Weston McKennie is tagged in the post. So everybody, Weston McKennie is a Leeds United player. Fantastic. And we all knew it, didn't we? We all knew he was going to be a Leeds United player, but Weston McKennie is Leeds. There we go. Beautiful. There we go. Weston's in the building. Have a beer. Have another beer. I can't have another beer. I can't have another beer. Honestly, my girlfriend and I went out for her birthday, and I cannot have any more beers. So Connor's on the tea and the water. But yeah, great news. It looks like, I don't know if that's going to be announced at 6, but please keep getting the comments in. Wait for the announcement video. I think it's going to be a good one, isn't it? Because McKennie looks quite cool, doesn't he? Looks like a bit of a cool dude. Very extrovert. And I think Leeds should go extrovert with the video as well. There's been some unreal announcement videos. I don't know if anybody's caught Burnley's recently, but the social media team is smashing it. So now on Sky, yeah. Connor, yeah, I'm just waiting for, if it is 6 o'clock, that'd be great. I did hear some inside news that Dyche was going to be announced at 2 today, around about 11 a.m. Let some of my Everton mates know that, and he was. So, sometimes I do get a bit of a scoop, but yeah, I've no idea if that's going to happen, but it was my birthday yesterday. I got the Rutter shirt. Oh, I forgot about Rutter as well. Completely forgot about Rutter. What am I doing? I've forgotten about Rutter on the thumbnail. What am I doing? Rutter. We've signed Rutter as well, haven't we? God. Oh, man. So I've completely forgot about Rutter on the thumbnail. What an absolute joker. Yeah, Rutter. We've signed him as well. So we've signed 4 players. Oh, it's just getting too good, isn't it? We're just massive. We've got players coming out of our you-know-whats. Matt Sweeney says, Rock and McKennie, Adam midfield for Forest. Yeah, I mean, that'd be ideal, Matt, wouldn't it? I don't know if he's going to be registered in time. You presume he would be, surely. He's got that Hogwarts. Yeah, Hogwarts. He loves Harry Potter, doesn't he? He loves Harry Potter, so hopefully he's going to... they're going to do some Harry Potter thing. Listen, I don't like Harry Potter, but I've just lost my entire subscriber base by saying that. I'm more of a Lord of the Rings guy, but yeah, there we go. Nerd, says Connor. One too many drinks for Jamie. Yeah. You need to stop making me laugh, my friend. If you don't know the context of that, go watch the debrief. Come on, Connor, keep up. Yeah, okay. So keep getting your comments in, everybody. Eric says there is no excuses. He has the ammo to pull the trigger. Yeah, we know he hasn't. We know, he has to. He simply has to get this right. And I'd be interested to hear when your guys' trigger point would be when it comes to Marsch. Would it be 5 games time? Would it be 10 games time? Would it be after Forest? Would it be after Everton? What would it be? Let me know your trigger point. I'm just hoping Leeds are going to actually announce this soon. Like Wasserman have blooming announced it as well. 50 years of fans says, like you, Connor, I believe it's all down to the manager to get the results now, but I'm not sure he will, and his days could be numbered to suit the 49ers. I'd agree, completely agree. It's got to be Forest. Loads of you guys are saying Forest. Rico says 5 games. I don't know, Rico, it's a lot of points. It's a lot of points at stake there. I'm not saying we won't get those points, by the way, but Badgerface says, Connor, I don't always agree with your takes, but your take on fantasy genre films is spot on. That's the most important, Badger. Way more important, my take on films than Leeds United. So yeah, Trigger Point says, Trigger Point, Ollie Turner says Forest. My trigger point was weeks ago, back in November. Yeah, it was kind of my point, mate, to be honest with you. But it is what it is, isn't it? We've got to roll with the punches. Hit that like button. Yeah, guys, there's nearly 1,000 of you in the building. Can we get 1,000 likes for Weston McKennie joining Leeds and me not putting Rutter on the thumbnail? How about that? Embarrassing if we can't beat Forest. To be fair, Leeds, they've not been beaten at home in a long time. It's going to be difficult for Leeds. And we know Forest, similarly to Derby, don't like Leeds. I remember in the Championship days when we were supposed to be going up and we went to Forest, and it was obviously Bielsa was in charge and they knocked us off our perch a little bit, didn't they? So it's not going to be an easy game, and we know they've invested a hell of a lot of money. I think they got John Joe Shelby today, didn't they? Ruben, has it been announced? Ollie's on it. Has it been announced? Is Ollie right? Has it been announced? Diego Llorente is in Roma. Okay, that is 30 minutes ago. He's arrived in Roma to sign. I haven't got anything yet. Romano's announced it, has he? Good old Fab. So, guys, if he has announced it, I will read it out to you. Yeah, so he's got the Wasserman picture up, says Fabrizio Romano. Official, confirmed. Weston McKennie joins Leeds United on a loan deal from Juventus for €1.2 million fee plus 33 million by option clause and add-ons. Weston McKennie is a Leeds United player. So there we go, everyone. McKennie is Leeds, and it looks like Diego is on, well, he's in Rome currently. I tell you what, everybody, Rome, what a place. I am a little bit jealous of him. But Ruben says Weston is arguably the best USA player. His versatility and his aggression on and off the ball make him such a dynamic player. He's built for the Prem. Brilliant, Ruben. Well, thank you for your Thank you for your Thank you for your comment there, mate. I really appreciate that one. As I say, guys, I can't profess to have watched Weston McKennie week in, week out. I've watched maybe 2 or 3 of his games. But yeah, I can't profess to know a ridiculous amount about McKennie. I've just been told bits and bats. So yeah, as I say, he's been playing at a fantastic level when it comes to Juve. So any contribution really helps. Will Montiero be announced tomorrow then? But I'd say so, Stephen. I wouldn't worry too much about that. It's a developmental signing, isn't it, originally? So I think that I mean, I don't know. I don't even know if they're going to do a proper announcement for that. Who knows? I mean, sometimes the kids have come in, haven't they? And they've not been announced at all. We just sort of get a bit of a nonchalant understanding that they're here. Apparently, Coventry City are also ready to prepare a £4 million bid for Charlie Cresswell. And what I will say, everybody, about that is that should not be accepted by Leeds United. That should not be accepted. 4 million quid for him is a joke. For his ceiling, for where he was 6 to 8 months ago, there is no way he's depreciated as a player. He's just a lone player. We saw this with Ben White for now on 3 years. There is no way, in my opinion, Charlie Cresswell should be going for anything less than 10 million, 8 to 10 million. You know, you think about his potential. We're all talking about captain material earlier on this year. What, he's gone to Millwall and now he's a bad player all of a sudden. It's not. No chance. Absolutely no chance. So I hope Leeds reject that. As I say, Coventry City are preparing a bid of £4 million for Charlie Cresswell. I want significantly more than that. Significantly more for him. McKennie's deleted the photo, has he? Oh, God, complications. McKennie's posted his move to Leeds. Is it just the Wasserman thing that he's posted? I need to start following him, to be fair. I'm useless following Leeds. I'm used to Instagram anyway, to be fair, but I need to start following more Leeds United players and just football players in general, really. Has he put anything? I can't see anything, guys, on his... No, he's not put anything up yet. Not put anything up yet. Come on, Leeds, announce it, man. What's going on here? I think I might have to leave it, you know, guys. Fab's confirmed it, but I thought we'd have had at least an announcement video out by now. Who else would you bring in now? Connor. Who else would you bring in, Connor? I think, to be honest, Billy, I'd almost be done. Phil's just tweeted out. Sorry, I'm been a bit in and on and off here, aren't I? Okay, Phil's just released a podcast. Who would you bring in now, Connor? Yeah, Montiero. Obviously, I like the fact that he's a developmental signing. I like the fact that he's going to replace Diego Llorente as like a lower choice centre back. His ceiling looks brilliant. He's an under-17 Portuguese captain. Brings the ball out like Ben White. Looks very much like Ben White. 6'4" at 17. Jesus, imagine. Is anyone in the chat been 6'4" at 17? If you are, fair play to you. You're lucky. But that's ridiculous. So I'm happy with that. Verba, I think he's going to almost slalom his way between left back and centre back, as we're going to see with Strauch as well. Interchangeable. And Rutter, obviously, I like Rutter. I like Rutter a lot. And then McKennie. Yeah, it's all up to Jesse. It's all up to Jesse. I think I was 5'4" at 17. Look at you, Justin. Big lad, 6'2" at 17. Bloody hell. I'm 6 foot now, mate, but you know what I mean? I need to put my high heels on sometimes. You know, keep my hair stuck up. Mate, he's got more followers than our entire club. Yeah, McKennie's got something like 1.6 million. It's this, and we're going to get droves of Americans, which is fantastic. It's always great to get a bigger audience when it comes to, you know, Leeds commercially as well. I'm 6'5" and 17, not as athletic. Lucas, I'd have you at the back instead of Llorente anyway, mate. You can just stand there. I think this is where we can start to properly judge Jesse. He's been fully back now. Do you know what it is, Brad? It's a lot of the Jesse stands as well. The people who backed him the whole way are now saying the same thing. People who have maybe in the past gone, you need to get off his back, you need to do this. He's not had the player quality. He's not had this, that, and the other. Now those people, and I'm not going to talk about them on here, but my mates and other people in the background are now turning around and saying the exact same thing because they now realise that he's been back to the hill. I mean, if this isn't him been back, what is it? Do we need to sack the whole defence? Sack the whole defence, bring top-class centre-backs in, top-class full-backs in, sack everybody else, and then Jesse can go. No. Unfortunately, as a football manager, as we saw with Marsch's predecessor, Marcelo Bielsa, and as we see with managers in the Premier League, you have to be able to improve players. You know, that is the job of a coach. You have to improve players, make them better, work with what you have. And it's not almost work with what you have because you've been given nothing. Work with what you have when you've still been given all this money to invest, with a squad that's been invested into. So, yeah. I was the person who backed Jesse. This next couple of weeks is make or break for him. That's it, Paddy. Weston's personality is desperately needed for this young, stressed-out team. Yeah, it feels like it. It feels like he's a bit of a maverick, doesn't it? Which is great. Very excited for the Forest game. Do you think we'll be seeing McKennie from the get-go? I'd say so, mate. I'd say so. It'd be great to see him. It's going to be a bit of a baptism of fire for him, though. It really is. But then again, he's played in the Champions League, hasn't he? And we're not talking about, this is no offence, but it's not Champions League for RB Salzburg. It's Champions League for Juventus. It's a bit of a different kettle of fish. Yeah, I've heard this. Yeah, I don't know if that's true. I've seen it on a couple of forums. But, you know, if we can keep Bamford fit, if we can keep Bamford fit, I know this sounds a bit horrible, but it's not like I'm not bothered because he's been brilliant this season, but I much prefer Bamford there anyway. Bamford just annoys the absolute hell out of me because he's never fit. Are you actually happy with the Llorente deal, Connor? No obligation to buy clause. Yeah, I mean that was the annoyance a little bit, Gilbert, in terms of like getting that obligation in there. Leeds have done extremely well to get an obligation in there. Roma probably just looked at his last year and thought, nah, we'll have an option in there. But hopefully, even if he doesn't go to Roma and they don't want to sign him, hopefully he impresses some other Italian side whilst he's out there who'll stump up 10 million or 12 million for him or whatever. But yeah, no obligation to buy. It doesn't look like. I think it's an option, similar to us and McKennie. But it looks, I think, with McKennie wouldn't be coming all the way over here just for a loan. I think there's an assurance there. McKennie will be thinking to himself as well, if they get relegated, that's the reason there's an option as well. He's not going to have an obligation in there because Leeds could get relegated and it's absolutely pointless. So that's why there's an option in there when it comes to McKennie. Cine, left wing, Willie, right wing, and Rutter. Striker potentially if Rodrigo is it. Yeah. Lucas, that's it, mate. We've got the options now, my friend. Got the options. I don't think he's that profile, Rutter. I think he likes to come off the touchline, doesn't he? He's a bit of an inside forward. He's not an out-and-out number 9, as we see with Paddy, for example. And a sort of like number 10-ish that we see with Rodrigo, like / Harry Kane sort of esque profile. But yeah. Guys, I'm going to leave it there because I've got football and I'm going to be playing in the Weston McKennie role tonight, so I'll make sure I get my groove on. I've really enjoyed this stream, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow with the deadline day stream. Please, in the comment section below, after this video, let me know what you want. Do you want a fan phone in or do you want a debrief? And we'll sort that out tomorrow. We can debrief, go over the signings. That could be quite fun as well. And maybe do the fan phone in another day. Just let me know exactly what you want, and I'll let you know in the we can discuss it, can't we? And I'll pin it to the comment section and I'll make sure it's done. Thank you for being fair and impartial towards Americans. Breath of fresh air not to be discriminated against my accent. Saddening, honestly. That's a shame, Jason. On here you will never get any of that rubbish. Football fans and players should be judged on their ability and who they are as people, not on where they're from. We're not all about that prejudice and discrimination on the One Leeds Fan Channel. Thank you very much. So I really appreciate that, buddy. And thank you for your donation. Okay, everyone, as I say, just let me know in the comment section below. Before you go, hit a like on it. It's dead free for this. Make sure you subscribe to the One Leeds Fan Channel and we'll keep pumping out content. Thanks, everyone, and I will see you in a bit. Cheers.